Hello, my third grade friends. This week we are going to be talking about symmetry. And symmetry, if you recall, means the same on both sides. So I hope that you watched the little video book, Seeing Symmetry, and that would have given you a really good explanation. And I also hoped you watched the fun video just with all these different cool bugs. And what we're going to do today is we are going to combine cursive writing. You're going to write your name in cursive, and we are going to actually transform your name into an imaginary bug. So it'll be kind of cool. So all you need today is this cursive writing guide that you can print out and just a blank piece of printer paper. What we're going to do first is that we are going to, since we're talking about something being the same on both sides, we are going to actually fold our paper in half the hot dog way. So if you want to put your paper horizontally like this, and then we are going to fold up, you're going to match up the corners, corner number 1, corner number 2. You remember we're going to hold it with our left hand, push down, swipe right, swipe left. So now now my piece of paper is folded in half. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is you're going to write your name in cursive, and I'm going to show you. And you want to make sure, I know when you practice handwriting in your classrooms, you always talk about the baseline. And you're going to really make sure that we start at the baseline and that our letters end at the baseline. This is our line of symmetry. One thing you might want to do before you get started is you might want to practice writing your name. So you could just grab let me see, I might have, this is just like a scratch piece. It's not even a whole piece. But grab a scratch piece and practice writing your name. I know when I write cursive, I like to kind of have it a little bit on a slant. And so find the letter. So this was me. I'm going to find the letter H. And I'm going to, and then if you look at the numbers too, it tells you number 1, I'm curving up and then down. So I'll practice up and then down. 2 is just vertical line here. And then 3 is like that, right? So there is my H, right? Then E is like this. And actually what I could do is I could even just turn this, I could connect the E to the H right there if I wanted to. There's my E. A is around like that. T is swinging up and then over. H is here, so I'm going to go up and around and down. I'm going to do my E again, and then R is up like that. So you can practice that and just kind of try it a bunch of different times, kind of see how you like it. You may even want to fancy it up a little bit. It's totally up to you. So go ahead and maybe just practice writing your name in cursive a little bit, and then I'll have us get started with the project. All right, so I did a little bit more practicing. I'm going to put my cursive aside, and I kind of decided I liked my name like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper with the fold, and you're going to write your name in cursive. Now what you want to make sure is, and I mentioned this before, that all this space up here you have. So you can work nice and big. You don't want to write your name really teeny, because then it's going to make the rest of the project maybe a little more difficult. So I'm going to, and another thing you can do too is you can put like a light line. So I know I want to come up this high with my uppercase, and then maybe I want to come up this high with my lowercase. So I'm just kind of putting a light line there to kind of serve as a guide. All right, so here I go. So I'm going to do my H. So I'm going to make sure I come down and touch that fold line. All right, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going up, then around, and then here is my E, A, T, oops, now see here, I didn't go down and touch the line, so I want to make sure I bump the line, or bump that fold line, bump the fold line, all right, there we go. Oops, and I have to put the T. All right, so there is my name, and I'm just gonna erase those little light lines that I drew here. Now I'm gonna show you guys a really cool trick, because we were talking about how symmetry is the same on both sides. Well, what's gonna happen is we are going to actually transfer your name over onto this side of the paper as well. And you're gonna say, what? How do we do that? Well, here's how it works. Grab a pair of scissors. Hopefully you have like a kid pair of scissors at home. If you don't have a pair of scissors, another thing that works really well is the back of a spoon. So I'm gonna go grab a spoon and I can show you that too. Hold on one second. All right, so I grabbed a spoon, and that's another option, and I can show you how that's gonna work. So what you're gonna do first is, we wrote your name in pencil. And sometimes what I like to do is, I'm gonna go back over it normally I always tell you guys to draw lightly, but once you figure out that this is your name and you like it, I'm just gonna go over my letter H again. I'm gonna stay on the lines. I'm just carefully putting another layer of graphite from the pencil onto my paper. So I'm going over the E again. Just go nice and slowly. It's going to make your lines a little bit thicker. If you happen to go off your line a little bit, that's okay. Here's my T. And while you're doing this, it's also a good time to check. I'm checking all of my letters are touching the baseline. Just going to go over that R. Curve around, and then I'm just going to cross my T. Okay, so now here's how it works. What you're going to do is we're going to fold our paper in half. And you probably will not be able to see this on the camera, but if I press nice and hard, I can see this H that I drew showing through the paper. So whether you have a scissor or a spoon, what you can do is you can take the back, sort of not this pointy part, but like this rounded part of your spoon, and you're going to press where you see where you wrote. So I'm seeing that the letter H is here. Let's see how that worked with it didn't transfer too well. Let's try it with the edge of my scissor. And look. Okay, so that worked. So you probably can't see it because it's far away, but I'm gonna hold it up. You can kind of see how lightly now that transferred the letter H there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to keep rubbing with the edge of my scissor handle. So that was the inside part of my H. There's the vertical line. And then you can kind of take a peek and see, oh yes, See how it's transferring? So and you probably can't see, but it is right here too. So now what you can do is I can take my pencil and I'm going to carefully trace over the line that's transferred. So I am getting an exact mirror image of my name on the opposite side of the paper. So it is symmetrical. Now I didn't continue rubbing this all the way up, so I'm gonna have to take my scissor. And now I see, yep, it needs to go all the way up there. Okay? And then we're gonna work our way down. We're just gonna keep rubbing each letter until we get to the end. I'm gonna do one or two more for you on the video so you can see. So there's my E. There's my A. Let's see how we're doing. We're doing good. I can see my E and my A. And you really need to press kind of hard to transfer this graphite. I'm just rubbing back and forth. And a lot of times to get the pressure, it helps if you stand up. And you're not going to be able to see this very well, but it's transferring. And so if you stand up and rub it, it also helps because you can engage your little belly muscles, your core, and it helps you to press hard too. So I'm just going to work my way down all the way. There's my R. And I think my R went up a little bit. Yep, over here. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to see. Now you probably can't see it, but I have transferred everything. So what I'm going to do now is I can actually, it's almost like looking in the mirror. It's sort of a mirror image of your name. So there's my E. It's like I'm drawing the reverse. Here's my T. Here's my H. Whoops. I went off my line a little bit, and that's okay. Just correct it. And then I just need to do my E. So I'm just carefully tracing over the pencil that has gotten rubbed onto my paper. Here's my R. Then it curves around. And like that. And look at how cool. So now here is my name. Now take a minute, check it out, and then I'm going to show you the next steps. All right, so we are ready to go on to the next step. But before we do that, I wanted to show you guys one thing, because you might say, well, Mrs. Herbay, what if my name has a cursive letter that it goes below the baseline? So I kind of want to show you what that looks like. So let's say that my first name was Jenny. So I'm just going to write the cursive. Here's my J. So you'll go down and then come back up, same as you did before. Here's my N. And then here's my Y. All right, so when you do your folding, you're going to do it the exact same way. So I'm rubbing or my Y is. All right, let's take a peek for a second. Okay, I can see. So what you will do is this, so here's my J. I can see the J, and then here's the, so you see now how the tail is just here like this. And then for the Y, it's a little bit different here. I'm gonna turn it this way so you can see it. Here is my, transfer that so well, so I'm going to rub that a little bit more. But you'll see it's just going to look a little more, you're going to have a little more details, but it's going to be totally fine even with the letters that go below. So you'll just treat it like normally, but I wanted to kind of just show you that because a lot of you may have names that have a letter that goes below. And there we go. So that's what it would look like. Now, when you write your name in cursive, a lot of times what happens is it lends itself, your name kind of lends itself to look like a book. So if you look at mine, and you can try to turn it, like I can turn it that way, I can turn it this way, and you can kind of decide which way you want it to be. Maybe I want the head of my bug to be down here, but maybe I think this can be the head too. These could be eyes, right? I can add. So you're gonna just kind of decide as you look at it which end is up. And I think just for fun, I'm gonna try it this way. Now what you can do is, and these can sort of be my antenna, but what you can do is you can add other details. So what you're gonna do is you'll do the same thing as you did before. So let's say I might want to put another circle on top of right here for like an eye. So I'm going to draw that like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'll just fold my paper. Give it a rub. Fold it back. And then I can see there was my, from this far away you guys probably couldn't see it, but there was my, so now there's my eyes. And then you can keep going. Like for example, let's say maybe I want this, maybe I want to connect this to here for part of the body. And it usually helps if, like I said before, if you draw your line, draw over your line maybe once or twice, then I'm gonna fold, and then I'm just gonna rub on that line there. And then, hey, check it out, there it is. It also helps when you do this if your pencil is a little bit dull, because it allows you to get a little bit more lead onto the paper. And then I can keep going, like let's say maybe I want to attach, to create a line there for the body. So then I'm going to rub there. Ta-da. Maybe, maybe I want to turn this into a leg. So I'm going to go like that. And then I can fold it. It doesn't matter which side you draw it on. I'm going to, oops, I rubbed in the wrong spot. I needed to rub up here. Silliness is Herbay. There's my foot. All right, and then you can just keep working your way down. Maybe I want to draw a line here to connect with right there. And then again, I will just give it a rub. Okay, and there's my line, I can see it. All right, and so keep going, and you can, oh, I maybe just got an idea. I might want to make this look like this. So I'm gonna go back over it. So just kind of have fun with this and think about making like a really cool bug. And if you remember, insects have 6 feet, 6 legs, not 6 feet, 6 legs. They have antenna. Sometimes they even have like, they have pinchers or like teeth. So like maybe I want to make a bug there. I don't know. So just kind of see what your name is telling you and what this is going to look like. The fun thing is that you can do, there's multiple ways that you can do it. Earlier, I had been experimenting around, and this is my name. This is also my name, but I use the other end and instead of this end. So here's kind of a different looking bug. So keep going. And then once you have your bug drawn with all your details, then I will show you the final step. All right, my 3rd grade friends. So here's my bug. I spent some time and I decided to add a bunch of different things, and I'm pretty excited with how my bug looks. Now, there are a couple ways that you can finish this. It can look cool just the way it is. You could say, oh, I'm done. If you only had a pencil in your piece of paper and that's all that you had, you could kind of one cool thing is you could use your pencil and you could add some darker values and some lighter values. You could also make some of your lines thicker, a little bit thicker and darker. So for example, I'm just gonna fill that with some diagonal lines there. Then maybe I want to outline this shape here. And just color it in with a light value. So I just want you to see, even with very limited materials, you can still make really cool, interesting looking artwork. Just by playing around with thick and thin lines, dark and light values. Okay, and then on this side, then I could darken this up a little bit too and make it a little thicker. Okay. And let's say I want to color this one in, the shape in with a dark value. And so since this is symmetrical, if this is a dark value, then this has to be the same dark value. Because we know that symmetry means the same on both sides. And this bug is symmetrical. So when you add your color or your designs, you will also do it symmetrically. So then again, if I wanted to, maybe I just want this to be and you just keep going and complete the bug however however you would like. So that's with pencil only. Now, if you have marker or colored pencils or crayons, that's also another solution. Crayons are probably a little trickier for doing outline because of the width of the point. But if you are lucky enough to have like a thin Sharpie or thinner markers, that also works well because you know from when we were in school, it looks really nice to outline with your Sharpie. So I could outline all of my details with the Sharpie, and then we can go back and color it in too. So that's another option. Now, some extension ideas that you could do with this project are, you could try writing your name in different ways, maybe not just in cursive, but maybe you just print your name and try this. Or another fun thing would be is to try it with a different word. Like, for example, maybe I want to try it with, I'll just do it here. Maybe I want to try it with the word bug, right? And see what I get. So here's B, U, G. And turn it over and see, give it a good rub. And I can see it. You guys probably can't see it because it's really light, but there's my B, U, and this is the funny one where we have the so then that might make a cool bug too. Or you might say, well, I'm not really into bugs, Mrs. Herbay. Maybe I want to make it into something else. And you can also turn it into something else. So I hope you have fun with this week. And remember that symmetry means the same on both sides. So have fun creating your symmetrical artwork. And I cannot wait to see what you create.